He was a teacher until war turned him into a ghost with a rifle. Now he hunts with deadly precision. This is the true story of vengeance, sacrifice, and the rise of a legend. Welcome to Film Breakdown Hub. Today we break down Sniper the White Raven, 2022. Zuecha deliberately provoked Ku Xiangtong to throw up on the blackboard. However, the teacher who was lecturing did not get angry, but walked up to Zuecha and said, "If you can throw up one more to the same position, I'll count you as awesome." Zuecha will not let go of this opportunity to pretend to be awesome after listening. Adjust the posture, look cool, and throw up to the same position as just now. I thought I could irritate the teacher in this way, but I didn't expect that the teacher would notice the distance Ku Xiangtong flew and the time it reached the blackboard in a short time. He cleverly used the knowledge of this class to calculate the average speed of Ku Xiangtong's flight. This kind of textbook-level operation instantly made Xuejia applaud the teacher with his head. However, Xuejia's provocation did not end there. Soon, the teacher specifically put a question on the blackboard for Xuejia. All the classmates turned their eyes to Xuejia, thinking that this playboy who usually does not learn countless flowers would not dare to answer the question. But in the next second, Xuejia walked up to the blackboard without hesitation. He threw up on the blackboard. I thought that this answer, which made all the classmates call him awesome, would make the teacher angry, but I didn't expect that the teacher would easily solve the problem with just one sentence. In an instant, Xuejia, who was mocked by all the classmates, could only extend his international friendship gesture to ease his embarrassment. I have to say that in front of the teacher, students are always students. Let's see how scary it is for a physics teacher to become a sniper. Hearing only the sound of bullets flying around, the enemy fell down one after another. This is the most worth-seeing sniper movie in recent years, and it is based on the true story. The hero is a Ukrainian physics teacher. In order to avoid war, he came to the countryside to live with his pregnant wife. He used to live a normal life, but bad things always come so suddenly. That day, Ivan went to school as usual, but he met armed people with unknown identities on the road. At first, he didn't care. When he came to school, the TV report showed that Russia had already started a full-scale war. At the same time, Ivan had a bad feeling, so he rushed home immediately and found that the two armed people on the side of the road had disappeared. However, when he returned home, he saw his wife being molested by two soldiers. Ivan rushed up to resist, but he didn't expect to be knocked down directly on the ground. In order to avoid the spread of the incident, the two soldiers burned their homes. Then they left without turning back. Ivan's wife couldn't stand this humiliation, so she picked up the stone to resist, but she was killed by the soldiers on the spot. Ivan faced the sudden situation, and he could only hold his wife tightly in his arms and feel the pain of heartbreak. Looking at the burning house, Ivan's home, and the hope in his heart became ashes. Until the next day, the rebels who passed by found them and helped him deal with his wife's funeral. Yesterday, he still looked forward to the future with his wife, but today, he became a hero. Ivan's heart also changed at that moment. Looking at the warm home that used to be, he became a calm man. At this moment, Ivan was also fully awakened. Then the rebels took him back to the camp. In order to avenge his wife, Ivan entered the 3-month training of the new soldiers. But as a former teacher, Ivan, who was helpless, was so difficult in every subject. Especially in the assembly of guns, he was busy for a long time and failed to disassemble the guns. But none of this shook his determination to revenge. He trained every night when he was weak. When others were resting, he kept practicing assembling guns until he was faster than anyone else. With such a one-day overload training, Ivan finally became the cornerstone of the new soldiers. Until, in a sniper selection competition, Ivan completely conquered everyone present. Just seeing him blindfolded, the instructor pressed the timer. From gun disassembly to gun assembly, Ivan only took 18 seconds to complete it. 18 seconds. Ivan's performance not only won the respect of everyone, but was also seen by the superiors present. He immediately transferred Ivan to the sniper team. But the life of the sniper team is not as simple as Ivan imagined. In order to train him, the instructor deliberately gave him a broken sniper rifle. Faced with such unfair treatment, Ivan did not complain, but trained harder. As a former physics teacher, Ivan is also quite sensitive to trajectory analysis and wind speed sensing. All indicators are very accurate. In this way, Ivan won the first mission. Soon he and the captain arrived at the designated position. This was his first battle. Nervousness made him dizzy. His eyes were tightly locked on the enemy sniper. He dared not relax at all. However, just as they were about to fire, a civilian car appeared and interrupted their plan. Ivan's fingers had to leave the plane. The enemy soldiers intercepted the car and hit a female passenger. This scene reminded Ivan of his wife. His emotions exploded in anger. The recoil of the plane knocked down the enemy one by one. In this shot, Ivan completed the transformation of his identity. His path to revenge also began from here. The sniper on the other side started the camera. He carefully adjusted the angle of the sniper rifle. In order to suppress his inner tension, he picked up a small stone from the ground and put it in his mouth, because this can make him more focused. However, his every move has long fallen into the eyes of the enemy sniper, but he didn't notice that he was moving forward. When he slowly climbed out of the sand dune, the enemy sniper unhesitatingly pulled the trigger. In this way, the sniper was mercilessly shot by the enemy. Then his body was sent back to the camp. When Ivan saw that his former comrade in arms had now become a cold mangled corpse, the anger in his heart ignited instantly. He swore in his heart that he would kill all the enemy snipers. Soon after, they received an emergency notice from the headquarters. The enemy will send a sniper team to attack them. Ivan and his comrades decided to set up an ambush on the way to avoid the enemy. They set up a large number of minefields on both sides of the road. They used a leaf as a shooting mark. Then they hid in a place 300 meters away from the road and quietly waited for the target to appear. As time passed, several enemy soldiers gradually entered the field of view. Ivan was also ready to shoot at any time. When the enemy soldiers entered the ambush circle, Ivan decisively pulled the trigger and detonated the white bomb. In the explosion, the enemy soldiers were unable to survive. In order to prevent the enemy from attacking again, the anti-army dug a trench outside the base. Ivan and his teammates continued to protect the rear of their comrades nearby. However, in this operation, Ivan not only disobeyed the military order, but also inadvertently caused the death of his comrades. During the observation, Ivan found 2 enemy soldiers through the sniper mirror. When he turned the sniper mirror to take a closer look, he was shocked to find that the soldier in front of him was the one who killed his wife. Anger was burning in his heart. Although his teammates kept reminding him to stay calm, once he fired, his position would be exposed. But Ivan was blinded by hatred at this moment. He pulled the safety of the sniper gun and pulled the trigger. A bullet came out. This soldier was shot on the spot by a sudden bullet, but this shot also completely exposed their position. The sniper who killed his teammate seemed to be ambushed around here. Just when Ivan was locking up another enemy, he didn't know that the sniper had locked them up. Then a bullet hit his teammate. Then Ivan and his teammates blew up the base. Fortunately, the dry ditch nearby saved Ivan's life, but his teammate was shot to death on the spot. Due to his impulse, he killed his teammate. Looking at his teammate's remains, Ivan felt extremely guilty, and he was severely criticized by his superiors. At the same time, Ivan could not forgive himself. So, in the absence of his superiors, he sneaked into the enemy camp to prepare to avenge his teammates. But what he didn't know was that the enemy's ace sniper had already made an ambush in multiple places. So, the sniper battle against the enemy began. It was only seen in the smell of trash in the warehouse and the grass. This is a life and death battle between the top 3 snipers. This time, Ivan has grown up to be the ace sniper with the code name of the White Crow, and the other party dare not be disappointed. He used the SSG 3000 sniper rifle to keep an eye on every tiny action in the grass in front of him to find the figure of the White Crow. In this confrontation, neither side dared to make a big move, but as time went by, the sniper hiding in the trash can couldn't stand the smell. He planned to change his sniping position. It was at this time that Ivan found his movement in the grass. Then he shot him to death, and this shot also completely exposed his position. Then the mysterious sniper hiding in the warehouse shot him directly. Fortunately, this shot only hit Ivan's arm. Then he immediately shot the sniper in the warehouse to death. Then Ivan took out the medical kit from the bag and simply bandaged the wound. When he returned to the base, he immediately invested in the next battle meeting. The goal of this action was the ace sniper who killed his teammates not long ago. According to the intelligence, this sniper used the Barrett 821 sniper rifle and equipped with a 12.8mm armor. They had locked the specific location of this sniper. Due to the excellent performance of Ivan recently, he was assigned to be fully responsible for this sniping operation. At the same time, the superior also assigned 5 assault teams to cover. Soon, the sniper team arrived at the designated location. In order to prevent sneak attacks, the opponent also carried out a strict control, but this kind of control still let Ivan succeed in sneaking in. Then he killed the 2 soldiers who were eating. At the same time, the snipers ambushed outside the base also successfully locked the guards. Then he killed them all in an instant. In order not to expose the position of the sniper shot the building not far away. In this way, he attracted the attention of the enemy sniper. And at this time, Ivan also successfully killed a sniper. Then he changed his pistol and began to advance inside the base. At this moment, there were only 2 ace snipers left. He also noticed something was wrong, so he got up and prepared to go outside to check the situation. But when he came to the position of the sniper number 3, he found that his teammates had been killed. So he immediately asked the command for support, and Ivan had sneaked in at this moment, and he installed a grenade in the position of the enemy sniper number 2. At the same time, the enemy ace sniper on the other side asked for support from the headquarters. Then he quickly returned to his sniping position. Unexpectedly at this time, Ivan fell directly from the sky and killed the sniper. And at this moment, the enemy's support troops also arrived immediately. Then Ivan quickly picked up the Barrett and killed the enemy captain directly. The rest of the soldiers got off the car immediately to build a defense line. Unexpectedly, they were already in the range of the sniper at this moment. As a result, a sniper was killed by a sniper not far away. In this way, a whole team was all killed. And Ivan also successfully completed this mission, but he was not happy about the victory because the war never ended. He came to the grave of his wife and recalled the past, and the happiness at that time was getting farther and farther away. In the joy of the battle, Ivan transformed from a physics teacher to a sniper. His story is not only a cruel confession of war, but also a desire for peace. A bullet slid close to the enemy's life and took away an ordinary person's ordinary life. Ivan's story is like a mirror reflecting the absurdity and cruelty of war. Each bullet not only takes away life, but also tears the bottom line of humanity. The real enemy is never a stranger on the other side, but hatred and prejudice in people's hearts. War is never the answer to the problem. It can only make love and peace become unreachable. Behind this tragedy, how to use dialogue and tolerance to build a world without smoke.